Alrighty, so just by show of hands, who here knows how to play chess, actually? Like, just the basics. Okay, so for those of you who know how to play, you probably already know the basics of the game, but those of you who don't know how to play, I will hopefully teach you the basics of the game. So, my purpose today, purpose is to teach you guys the basics of the game so you can hopefully play someone after like today or something. This is an important game around the world because it's kind of known internationally across the world. So, like, you can play chess against someone in Europe or in Asia or anything. I have been playing chess for around 8 years. I actually learned my 4th grade year. My teacher actually brought out a chessboard in class, and he taught everyone how to play the game. So today I am planning to inform you how the name of the pieces, how they look, and how they move, and how you will eventually win the game. Alright, so moving into describing the names of each piece and how they move. This right here is called a pawn. They line up in the first row right here. As you can see, I can pass them around and see how they look. So I don't know, get a feel for each piece. Each piece, and then right here is called the rook, and it looks like this. This is a bishop. This is a knight. Looks like a horse. And then the king. So it's a 2-player game. You get 2 rooks, 2 knights, 2 bishops, a queen, a king, and then 8 pawns. And then how each piece lines up, you get the last 2 rows on each side of the board, and then you get, so the pawns all go on the front row, and then it goes rook, knight, bishop, queen, king, and bishop, knight, rook again, so it looks symmetrical across the board. Alright, moving on to how each piece moves. The pawn, the way it moves is it goes 1 forward, or when you're actually starting the game, it can move 2 spaces forward. But other than that, it just moves 1 piece forward. Moving on to the rook can actually go as many spaces as you want forwards, and it can go as many as the spaces it wants sideways, as long as it doesn't interfere with another piece of your own. The knight is probably the most tricky piece of all because it moves in a kind of odd pattern. It can go 3 up and over, like up 3 and over 1, like so. Or it can, like if it's up here, you can make it move back 1 and over 3. So it's kind of odd how that one moves. And the bishop, it goes diagonally. The queen can move in all 3, forwards, backwards, sideways, and diagonally, forwards and backwards. The king can just move sideways. It can move all directions, but it can only move one at a time. It can't go unlimited. Okay. Now moving on to how you actually win the game. So to actually win, your opponent would also have his pieces lined up on the other side. I pass the other pieces around. But anyway, so you each take turns moving, and then so the objective of the game is either to take all your opponent's pieces or do what's called a checkmate. So obviously when you take your other opponent's pieces, so like if the other piece was lined up, how your piece moves, it would move, and then you would take that spot. But there's strategy to it because you don't want to leave your piece wide in the open so they can just take it right back. You want to move so that you can take their piece without your opponent being able to take your piece. Moving on to how you checkmate. The king is basically how you win the game. So you want to surround your opponent's king so that they cannot move. So if he would move to the side, he wouldn't be able to because it would put him in danger of being taken by one of your pieces. Or like if you move forward, then your piece was there. So basically, a checkmate is where the king cannot move in any direction without being taken. Once you have checkmated your opponent, that is a W or a win. So today I taught you how to play like the basics of chess. I informed you the name of each piece. I showed you what they looked like. I lined it up right here, and so you can kind of see like where each piece goes. I taught you how each piece moves in its own like unique way, and I taught you how to win by either taking your all of your opponent's pieces or lining it up so your opponent is checkmated and they cannot win. Thank you.